Today is the first episode of Matchmaker Monday, where every Monday I'm going to pick 3 feature fabrics and show you coordinating exteriors, linings, zipper tape, thread, and bag hardware recommendations. I decided to start this series to take the guesswork out of color matching. It can be difficult shopping online and trying to match up fabrics to make sure that they are nice and cohesive and coordinating. So now I'm doing the difficult work for you and giving you my recommendations. Everything I share today is linked below to make shopping easy. For collection 1, I have chosen CrocPop in the color Dill Pickle. If you're looking for a coordinating exterior, I would recommend our milled grain faux leather in the color olive or our milled grain faux leather in the color moss. These are going to be great for making your handles because it can get a little challenging folding over the CrocPop to make your handle or your bag straps. So keep in mind that that is recommended. Now I do have an example here of a bag that was made. This is one of our store displays with the CrocPop in the color Dill Pickle. Paired that with antique brass hardware. And this handle was made with our Savannah suede in the color olive. This has since been discontinued, but as you can see right here, the milled grain faux leather in the color moss is what we're calling this one, is the same color. So if you like this combination with this handle, then go pick the moss colored. However, if you like the darker tone, then you would want to select the color olive. So that is for your exterior. Now let's pick threads that are going to coordinate well. So I have 2 different colors in the Text 45 thread. Here I have the olive color, and this one is Army. Now I'm sorry that the names don't quite jive with the fabrics, but the olive here matches moss, and the Army matches the olive. So hopefully you got that straight. But you could technically use these interchangeably. If you use the darker one, it's just going to be more of a contrasting fabric or contrasting thread on top of the lighter vinyl, and vice versa. So either one of those is going to work. Let me show you my open spools. That way you can get a better look at the thread colors. So either one is going to look great together. Let's move on to linings. So let me lay out some linings here. This is one of our recent additions. This is called our Linertex Grids. This is a water-resistant fabric. You do not need to use any woven interfacing on it because it does not have any stretch, and it's a little bit thicker than a quilting cotton. This is the color Eucalyptus, so I think that this is going to make a great lining. When we're working with Croc vinyls, we want to kind of keep all the other supporting elements subdued because we want the Croc to be the feature here. There's a lot going on with the texture and the different tones that are in the Croc fabric. So that is why I suggest keeping away from any kinds of prints because that just gets a little bit too busy. So we can pull out the green tones in the CrocPop and use our Eucalyptus here. And we could brighten up the lining if you wanted it a little bit brighter and use our Linertex in the color, this is our Linertex monostripe line in the color almond. So if you want a nice bright lining, I'd recommend that. Or if you like working with waterproof canvas, we have our waterproof canvas in the color pickle. So that is another option for you. We have a couple of different options for zipper tape to match the CrocPop in the color Dill Pickle. First up, I have pulled our olive colored zipper tape with the antique brass coil. I do believe we also offer this in the light gold coil as well. I would pair that with the milled grain faux leather and the color moss because those coordinate well and it's almost a perfect color match. If you are choosing to use the milled grain faux leather and the color olive, then I would select our zipper tape that is in the color Army. And you can go with a light gold coil like I have right here, or you can do the antique brass. When selecting your hardware, I recommend the light gold or the antique brass. I think that that's going to complement this bag the best. Collection number 2 is our Brindle cowhide coated canvas. This has a natural canvas backing, and the front side is coated with this really cool Brindle cow print. It has the feel of a vinyl, but it is not a vinyl. It's more lightweight, domestic machine friendly. There is no stretch to it, so you don't have to interface it unless you want to. So that's completely optional. I would pair that with our distressed grain faux leather in the color dark metallic copper, like my daughter did here on her Uptown swing. She made this bag last weekend, and I think she did a fantastic job. She is a new bag maker. She decided to do her handle two-toned, and she chose gunmetal hardware. So let's look at all of those fabrics together. So here is our scraps, our leftovers here that we had of the Brindle cowhide, or excuse me, I should say the dark metallic copper. So it really pulls in with the lighter colors of brown here. But if you wanted to pair that with a black, we have our milled grain faux leather in the color black to show you another option. And for your lining, I would recommend our liner text in the monostripe line in the color almond, just like in the last collection. I think that that really works well with the exterior, the cream color. However, you could also use our liner text in the solid collection in the color cream. And this is the lining that my daughter chose to go with her Uptown swing. So those are our lining recommendations. Now, if you want a darker lining, which generally most bag makers like to stick with a lighter bag lining, we would recommend then our black waterproof canvas. So you could use that as well. For zipper tape, I have pulled two different options. We've got our chocolate brown zipper tape with the gunmetal coil. This is the one that my daughter chose for her Uptown swing. I am partial to the gunmetal. I just think that that one looks the best. Likewise, if you chose to go with the black, then I would recommend our black zipper tape. And you could do black gunmetal, you could do black nickel, or you could do black and light gold like this one right here. Here are our recommended hardware finishes, either the gunmetal, the light gold, or the nickel. All of those are going to look great together. And as far as thread, we have our chocolate brown thread in both the Text 45 and the Text 70 available. And that's going to look great with the metallic dark copper. That is what my daughter chose to use. And we have our black also available in the Text 45 and the Text 70 if you are using the black milled grain faux leather. For our final collection, collection number 3, we have our feature fabric, which is our Cottage flowers on brown. And there are so many colors in this one. I have lots of different choices that you can pair with this beautiful fabric that we have. I had made a Laura Jean bag, which is another sewing pattern you can get on my website in the past, so I wanted to share with you what that looked like. Please keep in mind that when we originally brought this fabric in, I had the scale set a little bit larger than I currently do. I decided to scale this down so that it was the same scale as our Cottage flower printed vinyl, which is the same print on a different background. It's one of our best sellers as well. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at all of the fabric pairings and hardware, zipper, and thread that I recommend for Cottage flowers on brown. First up, we have our chocolate brown colors. We've got our Savannah suede and our milled grain faux leather. I used the Savannah suede on my Laura Jean. If you've chosen to do the chocolate color, we do carry zipper tape in the chocolate color. This is the antique brass. I would also recommend a light gold here, but I lean towards the antique brass with this print because it just has that warm tone to it. We currently are out of stock on the light gold zipper tape, but that will be coming in the next couple of weeks. Here are two additional exterior options for you. It changes it up a little bit. We are now pulling colors from the leaves. So on my left is our milled grain faux leather and the color caramel. On my right is our Harrison suede and the color camel. We do have zipper tape to match these. So currently I just have the camel and the antique brass in stock, but the light gold and the antique brass are going to be here in about 2 weeks and restocked as well. And for our caramel, we have our light gold caramel zipper tape. We also have our antique brass, so I would recommend those two. Then talking about the hardware finishes, like I've been saying, the antique brass and the light gold are going to be my picks here. I think that the antique brass is the winner overall, but either of those are going to look beautiful with the cottage flowers on brown. All right, next up, let's look at some linings that are going to look nice with the cottage flowers on brown. Here I have our liner text in the Shimmers collection, and this is the color tan. So if you want a little bit of sparkle on your lining, I would recommend this one. If you want a matte finish, we have our new liner text pinstripe collection. This is the warm taupe. So about the same color, just this one has some metallic threads in it. This one has some texture. For this next one, I am pulling from this bluish green color in the leaves, and I have chosen our liner text grid collection in the color eucalyptus. We have our waterproof canvas in the color ocean, again pulling from those leaves if you like to work with waterproof canvas. Personally, I would choose this one over the waterproof canvas. I think it matches just a little bit better, but I wanted to give you a waterproof canvas option. We have the mono stripe in the color almond. I keep showing you this in all of the collections. It's just very versatile. So this pulls from the cream colors in the flowers. And lastly, our newest color in our waterproof canvas. This is the color Yam. I really like this one because it pulls out those nice warm colors, the warm orange colors right there in the leaves. I also have the Cottage Flowers print available in quilting cotton. So we have the cottage flowers on brown in the quilting cotton. If you wanted to use that in your lining, you'll just need to use some woven interfacing on it. Or what I did on my Laura Jean is I used our cottage flowers on cream, I think it's called, quilting cotton for my lining with this one. So let me show you the inside of the bag. And I like that one because it's coordinating, it's the same print, and it just brightens up the lining right there. I created 3 dedicated collections with everything you saw in today's video. That way you don't have to hunt for matching pieces. Links are in the description. Subscribe for next Monday's Matchmaker video, and I'll see you then.